This message is sponsored by Greenlight. With school out, summer is the perfect time to teach our kids real-world money skills they'll use forever. Greenlight is a debit card and the #1 family finance and safety app used by millions of families, helping kids learn how to save, invest, and spend wisely. Parents can send their kids money and track their spending and saving, while kids build money confidence and skills in fun ways. Start your risk-free Greenlight trial today at greenlight.com/iHeart. That's greenlight.com/iHeart.
You're listening to a special episode of Around the Galaxy, featuring audio from our weekly live show, ATGLive. We go live every Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern on our YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/@the-SSW Network. Join the conversation, be part of the chat, and may the Force be with you. Roger, Roger.
Lightsabers hum, they light up the night. Pete and Nick keep the galaxy bright. From Tatooine sands to indoor trees, they're bringing the news with galactic ease. ATGLive, we're blasting away, talking Star Wars every Thursday. Interviews, opinions, and all the lore. Hop on the Falcon, they're opening the door. From Vader's breath to Grogu's charms, theories and chats, they keep us disarmed. Around the galaxy tonight, Chris and Kelsey keeping it tight. They're breaking news like a Death Star blast, taking your calls and reading your chats. The greatest guests and what you need to know. Pete and Nick lead the Star Wars show. ATGLive, we're blasting away, talking Star Wars every Thursday. Interviews, opinions, and all the lore. Hop on the Falcon, they're opening the door.
Well, welcome to ATGLive, your Thursday night home for all things Star Wars. I'm one of your hosts, Pete Fletcher, and I'm joined, as always, by my muted co-host. I wanted to let you know that was sort of a subtle way to let you know you're muted. I can see it from here. Co-host Nick, Milky Nick. What is happening, brother?
Well, so the problem was this intro was going to work because I was going to stare at you angrily for the really jackass thing that you just texted me right before we went on live. And then I ruined it by being muted. So we're here. We're Thursdaying. We're doing what we do, and it's going to be a lot of fun.
It is going to be a lot of fun. We have a special guest, Josh Zagoren, and his puppet bird, Chad. So we have never had a puppet live on ATGLive before, so I'm excited about that. I'm excited to talk to Chad. And if any of you have not found Chad the bird yet on either Instagram or TikTok, you are definitely going to want to do that as soon as the show is done. Don't leave until the show's done. But hang out and watch all the stuff. Nick, we have all kinds of socials and stuff. You want to talk about that stuff? I mean, we talk about it every week.
I would be glad to, whore myself out for the masses that are tuned in, seeing what we do. Yeah. Honestly, I'm just going to send you to the website, theSSWnetwork.com. This is the lazy man's way out. On that website, you will find the places we're on social media, the places we used to be on social media. Social media is, relatively speaking, a pretty solid dumpster fire most days.
Yep.
But we're still hanging in certain areas that don't suck as much as others. You have links to our merchandise store, which we do like to talk about this. We have fun t-shirts. We have the sticker sheet that Pete is holding up. Some of our favorite designs. Pete has reworked the store here recently, so there's lots of fun stuff that you can find. I think pint glasses, t-shirts, stickers, the important things in life. If you've got a good t-shirt and a sticker, throw it on a pint glass, have a beer, and watch Star Wars. So you can find those things there. Patreon program. We have an amazing group of patrons that support what we do. You can find out how to be a part of that if you are not already for as little as $3 a month. You can get stickers and inside access and meetups and other things that we do when we're on top of our game. And news. We're going to talk about the news in a little bit. We put news stories up every week, the things that are popping and dropping and locking in Star Wars, just for you to read, just you to, be edified by the world of Star Wars in some way, shape, or form.
Well, and we do it in
saying lots of words now.
Yeah, we do it speaking of lots of words, we bring those news stories down to 250.
Shrink
so you
them
just
down.
need to know what you know, right? You don't need to, you don't know.
Yeah.
So
Ain't nobody got time for all that.
Yeah, I mean, just tell me what I need to know. And speaking of telling us what we need to know, thank you very much, Matthew. Matthew says I'm slowly morphing into older Kenny Rogers. Kenny Rogers.
Yeah.
There was older Kenny Rogers.
The problem is Kenny Rogers was always old, but
and then he got
realized,
really bad plastic surgery, and so he started to look like that. So,
fun fact: my mother's all-time favorite music artists, both of them. One is Kenny Rogers. The other is Alice Cooper. So I grew up all my life going, my mom loves Alice Cooper, loved him in high school. And it was the two things that obviously don't match up and don't mix. But she loved Kenny Rogers, went to a Kenny Rogers concert, and he threw out a tambourine. She caught the tambourine at the Kenny Rogers concert. The weird cross-section of the world. So I have listened to a lot of Kenny Rogers in my day.
And that was young Kenny Rogers. That's
right. And at the time, I thought he was old because, when you're a kid, everybody was old. And it turns out he was probably 40 and he looked like he was 100.
Right. Yeah. Do yourself a favor if you're Gen X, go look up how old the Golden Girls were when they were on.
It's a wake-up call.
It'll ruin your day.
In fact, yes. Speaking of not old, Kelsey's
I don't know how to make that connection, but I had to bring you in. Golden Girl, you're a golden girl. How's that? Is that good?
No, don't call me old. What the hell's wrong with you? What? Come on. No,
golden
no.
child, kind of. I don't know.
Hold up. I need to just go back
late.
to. I have to go back to.
She's still trying to rectify Kenny Rogers and Alice Cooper.
That, and then also pop, lock, and drop it. What is that cross section of music there? What is wrong with you tonight?
We're getting you the news however you want to consume it. It's not our business.
Dear God. What a mess. What a mess.
Happy Thursday.
It's Thursday. This is the way every Thursday goes. Well, cool. And, it's also just not a Thursday unless we do our toast. And it's a new month, Nick. It is August. That means
it is a new month.
A new celebratory toast.
We have a new theme for our toasts for the week. And I found this in my garage. I actually think it belonged to one of my kids at some point. It is the Ahsoka Saber.
Nice.
It is the month of Ahsoka. And I have to give a shout out. My 9-year-old came up with that last week, right before the show. She's like, Dad, what about Ahsoka? So I've corrupted my children into helping me come up with silly drinking games for my podcast. Ooh, Pete's got the saber.
Okay.
There they are.
They're not
Is
as
it
cool as having,
or just improving their lives?
Well, depends on what Dyfus says, I suppose.
All right.
I'm saying corrupted in case DHR is watching, but we all know that it's improving.
All right.
So it is Ahsoka. We have our Ahsoka action figure that is going to go into this beer.
Yes.
Down at the bottom because Ahsokas don't float. It's a smaller figure than usual.
Ahsokas don't float.
And that's right. Fun fact for everybody. Which means she's not a witch, right? Isn't that how that works?
I think so.
This week,
going back to burning witches now. Oh my God!
you get. Turns out Ahsokas do float. She's
they do.
What's up?
She's hanging out by her little.
I'm raising my Ahsoka toast to Chris tonight because Chris isn't here. So that's what happens when you're not here. You get toasted. Right. You miss out on it. He did create our video for us, our little 10-second toast video. So I'm going to raise this toast to Chris. Happy Ahsoka and happy Star Wars.
He didn't die.
And now she's stuck in the middle.
Proud of you.
The beer between beers. That's where she is.
All right.
The world between beers, which I think is Friday through Wednesday. That's the world between beers.
That could be it.
Well, hey, if you're listening on the replay, thank you so much for checking us out on your ride to work or wherever you're going. If you're enjoying it and you want to leave us a voicemail, 504-321-1501, do that. You can leave a voicemail during the show. We'll check. We'll play it without listening to it ahead of time. We don't care. We're risky. We have some fun. But we're going to take our first break. And then when we come back, we're going to be joined by Josh Zagoren. And later in the show, Chad the Bird is going to be with us to do our news section. So you're not going to want to miss that. We'll be right back with more ATG Live.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on what your kids are spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/iHeart.
We are brought to you by Bro Axiom Outpost, where you can get anything from action figures for Star Wars and He-Man and G.I. Joe and you name it. It's there. And if you use ATG 10 on your order, you're going to get 10% off your first order. As we say every week, Nick, you're going to buy this shit anyway. Buy it from Chris, right? I mean,
buy it from Chris. Support local business. Small, well, not local to me.
No, but
small business.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess anything's local if you're willing to take the time. Philly to Alabama, whatever. It works.
Sure. I mean, UPS will make it work. So I want to introduce our guest for tonight. Josh Zagoren is an actor, comedian, playwright, and puppeteer. He's appeared in Chicago Med and Chicago Fire. I know a bunch of friends from Chicago who are in the acting space, and they've ended up on those shows as well. As always, they love to take those local actors, which is awesome. But we know him from his wild rants as the puppet Chad the Bird on Instagram, on YouTube, on TikTok. Plus, you can find him live in Chicago for the next, I think, 6 or 7 Saturdays at the Green Mill Lounge. So please welcome Josh Zagoren.
That was a jam. Don't stop the jam.
What's going on, Josh?
Hello. I'm okay. How is everybody?
Good. You know, I realized that I didn't ask how to say your last name.
Nailed it on the first jump. Nailed it off the tip.
See, I was afraid you were going to be like, no, it's Zagoren.
That's the one that everybody assumes that it is. And I was like, no, the gore is in the middle. And like, I did have a coach once when I was a kid that pronounced it Zagoren for a year until I was like, you're making it harder.
You're like, you're making this more difficult than it needs to be.
This is a very simple name. Some idiot from Jersey is going to nail it on the first try.
Nailed it, killed it, owned it, love it.
Nice.
Well, it's we're excited you're here. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to hanging out. Pete did a little bit of an intro there. He did a little bit of an intro, but tell us a little bit more about yourself, about Chad.
Well, oh man, what is there to tell? It's not a very interesting. No, I have a bird that is a puppet that I do live at the Green Mill in Chicago, and I tour as Chad all over the place. Been doing that since 2006. There was a sketch show that I was in where they wanted it was a porn themed sketch show. So I was like, I'm interested. I want to know what you're going to do with that. And one of the bits was they were like, hey, would you write something about like a puppet and a person having sex for the first time? So I wrote this sketch, and then they were like, also, we don't have any puppets because nonprofit theater. And they allowed me access to their basement. And I found whatever I could find lying around. I kind of Frankenstein monstered this puppet, and they loved it. And now that was 2006, 19 years later, this is all I do. So,
and that was the creation of Chad for that show?
Yeah, I did it for a porn themed sketch show. Frankenstein out of parts from a nonprofit theater's basement.
That's where dreams come from.
That's where all good ideas begin. If I had a dime. But eventually we had to like change the design. We had to kind of make it more our thing so we could patent it. And now it's a new thing. It's like one piece. But back then it was a bunch of little things kind of just sewn together quickly.
I love that. It's awesome. So I had I was telling you before you came on, and we were I was going through TikTok. No, it was Instagram. One night, as you do, laying in bed instead of sleeping, just like it's 2 a.m. zipping through.
How are you going to know what everybody's hot takes are?
Well, that's true. I need that. I need for some reason my algorithm. My daughter is like, "What are you looking at?" My algorithm has a lot of magicians I don't know what that is.
That's better than most algorithms, to be honest.
True.
If you're just like, I don't know, this guy's doing a card trick, and I'm like, I'm over here. I think it's an insane clown posse burlesque act. I don't know.
Juggalo fist fights.
Juggalo porn. I don't know what I'm looking at.
And I found you did this whole thing on droids, but for the people who aren't familiar with you, I'm going to play. I have a little clip here that I want to play of you just talking Star Wars. There's like 5 or 6 different Star Wars clips you've done. I'm guessing you've got a certain level of nerdity.
I like it.
That fits. I mean, just looking at you got some Star Wars action happening. So this is a clip that I pulled together from one of your Instagram clips. Here it is.
Probably most interesting, fuck you, to me, is the logo for Return of the Jedi. It's just Times New Roman. The Diet Coke of fonts. Excuse me, typefaces. Now, Arabesh, that's the text you see in all the Star Wars computers and stuff, and in all the shows and the movies and the merch and the price tags on everything at Galaxy's Edge, which personally I think is the ultimate expression of Star Wars, because I dare you not to be so overwhelmed with nostalgia and emotion, especially if you survive the special editions, when you see the Millennium Falcon in the real in front of your face. But anyway, Arabesh, that's the language and typeface, like I was saying, Stephen Crane. But it was based on random symbols from Return of the Jedi, because that is what typefaces are. They're symbols you agree have meaning, humans. That's how you connect. That's all we got, humans. You and me and the Star Wars in between, communicating thoughts and truths and stories across this and all generations to come, leaping through time, one letter to the next, surrounding us and binding us. Fuck the fascists. Fuck the empire. We're going to win this war, not by fighting what we hate, but by saving what we love. Save the rebellion. Save the dream. May the fourth be with you, and also with you. I love you. Good night.
Blah, 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 nerd.
The absolute checklist of amazing things in that rant. That
I got so much heat for doing a Rose Tico quote. The Brogans out there really don't like it when you bring up Rose Tico.
It's not their favorite, but that's too bad.
No, that's too bad on you. I'm sorry you hate fun. It's not my problem.
Right. Yeah, what's wrong with you? And I will say, right near the top of that list, Times New Roman, the Diet Coke of typefaces, is just chef's kiss.
Because it is.
Yeah, let's all call it
font flavor. I'm finally saying it, guys. We're finally. Yeah. This is the real truth. These are the hard truths.
You're saying what we already knew.
There's so much going on in the world. People are forgetting.
The Times New Roman is the Diet Coke of fonts.
Exactly.
It's the font flavored font.
So it begs the question: Is Comic Sans like the Tab? Is it the Surge Cola from the early 2000s?
Oh no, it's even goofier than that. It's like a Big Red. It's like a bubblegum flavored soda where you're just like, what are you doing? And people are like, I love it. And you're like, yeah, you do.
Yeah, like sure.
Yeah, I can tell.
Okay, man. I love Green Rivers. That's probably like Helvetica. But that's
there you go. That's fine. Totally fine. Well, I do want to ask this because obviously, like Pete said, there are several of your clips that have Star Wars flavor to it. There's clearly a fandom there. Oh, yeah. Give us just kind of a quick rundown. Where did your Star Wars fandom start? What was your origin story? How did it hit for you?
Well, Jedi was 83, so I was 3 years old when I saw that, and then it was for me. I think the first real clear Star Wars memory I have is Jabba the Hutt. Like when you first see him for the first time, the actual first time, not the special retcon second, third time or whatever the hell. And I just remember being so impressed and not scared of that. But I was terrified of everything. I remember being terrified of E.T. and Gremlins and anything that ran at me and was lit and rubbery and sweaty, which was most of the movie monsters from the 80s.
Everything in the 80s, yeah.
But I remember Jabba the Hutt just kind of always fascinated me. And I had birthday parties where my parents would get their friends to dress up like Star Wars characters. One birthday party that I have pictures of where their friend came in a full Darth Vader cosplay. And Hutt shaming, Eric Elliott. Agreed. Total Hutt shaming. But yeah, it was always kind of permeated in my culture, in my family. We always had a Star Wars thing. Yeah, it was just always around. Always. It's as comfortable and normal to me as chicken soup in a blanket. So I'm Star Wars. That's where we are.
I'm going to clip this out because I wanted to buy a Darth Vader costume about 15 years ago. $800. My wife was like, "You're not spending $800 on a Darth Vader costume." I said, "Yes, but I'll make it back in birthdays in 2 months." Right?
Listen, you're not wrong, man.
But now I don't have it, and We don't have that kind of cash flow because it could have been a whole stream, a whole
missed opportunity. That's right.
Get a sponsorship. Get like a little NASCAR jacket going for that Darth Vader costume.
Right. When you drag in the big box, you got stickers all around. I like that. I like where that's going.
Make it happen. That's it. It's just kind of always around. Yeah.
You also have the Batu hat on. So your level of Star Wars nerdicity is pretty high.
This is the hat I bought in space because I went to Galaxy's Edge and I absolutely needed that. I was like, I always like to buy one thing when I go to fun places, and this was the thing I absolutely wanted to have. I used to have an X-Wing fighter captain hat, but that's gone now. But yeah, no, that was all autobiographical about crying when you see the Millennium Falcon because I absolutely did. And my fiance had the phone right up here because she had been there before. Okay. And the two of us were walking around, and she's like got the phone right here, and I'm looking at her, and we're walking around the corner, and I was like, I know what you're doing. You think I'm going to cry when we turn, and they're going to reveal it because it's Disney, and everything is a reveal, and it's really immersive. If you haven't been to Galaxy's Edge, those of you watching, the walk between when you go there for the first time, go to Toy Story Land and then go to Galaxy's Edge because the walk between the two is crazy. The sound effects change as you walk. You have to walk through a little field. The tiles on the pathway change. The lighting changes. And then suddenly you're in these rocks and all you hear are weird Star Wars noises. It's immersive. But then you turn the corner and then there's the big reveal. There's the reveal. There's the Black Spire outpost or whatever. And then it's right there in front of you. And she's got this video of me just kind of going, yep. No, they did a real good job. That's great. No, they killed it. And you just see me like wandering off and she's following me with the camera. And I'm just, somebody turned on the hose, man. Just couldn't stop myself.
Jasmine,
how are you doing?
She said your soliloquy about Leroy Jenkins is
okay. I want to throw something at you, Jasmine. Okay, so I called that the Ballad of Leroy Jenkins, and I got not one, not two, but 30 actuallys from people being like, "You don't know what a ballad is. A ballad is a song." And I'm like, "Actually, a ballad is an old poem that they turned into a song." They're like, "They're more traditionally," and I'm like, "You're more traditionally." So thank you for giving me some love for that because. It's always 6 of one, half dozen of the comment section. So,
do you check the comment section often on your?
I mean, I do. I try not to because I hate it, but It's more like we always check to make sure there's no like horrible racist, sexist, anti-trans, anti-homo, like any homophobia, any transphobia. We're just like because like I'll go through and I'm like I can take. I don't care. You're on your computer. Anybody can. Post a comment. The internet's a rest stop bathroom, but you just want to make sure because we have a lot of people in the world that follow us, and we were like, well, we don't want people who have to deal with that on a daily basis in like Alabama wanting to like leave our comment section because they don't want to deal with it. You heard what I said. You vote in the midterms. Change my mind. Change my mind, Alabama. I want you.
You're right. You're right. Yeah.
I come from Iowa.
I'm in the minority here. Well, and you're right. And we're the same way about social media and comments and things like that, obviously with the YouTube channel and, people will comment on our dumb takes and things we hate. I do have to say, and I have it saved on my phone, one of my favorites, somebody commented on one of our videos, 2 elderly men filming videos in teenager-like rooms with about as much competence as a 5-year-old child. That's the best thing I've ever read.
I was going to say, and your point is?
Right.
If my bedroom looked like this as a teenager, I would have never left the house.
We're having more fun than you is what you're saying there.
Exactly.
Right. Go tell your mom.
And a big dick 40 fart, whatever your name is out there.
Exactly.
Fine. Yeah,
Monster Basement 75.
Neck beard Brogan 69. It's like, we just do it just to make sure that there's nothing awful, but it's usually a skim, just kind of like yeah. So just know if you think you're trolling us, you're not. You're just increasing engagement. Thank you.
Right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, seriously. Thank you for your opinion. It's always valid.
That's right. Your clicks help me out.
Everything you love is the right thing. It's your favorite is the best one. That's right.
Yeah, your line's about
you're
Superman.
Mad, you're still here. You're helping me out.
Yeah, exactly.
Your line's about yes. It doesn't matter. Yes, you're right.
You're right. Your Superman's the best one. Yes, none better. But
I have to ask this. Go ahead.
No.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, we've hit typefaces. We've got the droid rant. I actually had another former producer of ours text me and say, get him to go on a droid rant. I'm not going to make you do that right now. Jasmine talked about Leroy Jenkins, but it begs the question. In your deep dives, a lot of the different things, you've got the hand buzzer novelty, cheese rolling competitions.
Right.
Like, you've covered a lot of ground. What are one or two of your favorites of just things that even when you hit that moment, you're like, man, that was really great?
Oh, you mean like in terms of like things we did, we were like, that is fascinating. I'm blown away by this.
Absolutely.
We just did one. What was the last one we did? It was about the 90s. It was about the baby that was born. It was a 30-year-old embryo that was frozen and then successfully completed and birthed. I thought that was pretty wild. Yeah, man. My favorite ones are the ones about the poop cruise. Or like the story about the guy who threatened to blow up a Home Depot bathroom, but it turned out he was just talking about taking a giant dump. Like, it's that stuff that just blows my mind. Yeah. There was one, my favorite one that I think I've written that I've always mentioned is my favorite is I did one about, it's not very exciting because it's always the ones that I like that everyone's like, yeah, that was fun. Sure.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. I did this one about when Orson Welles' final movie was finished. The Other Side of the Wind, I think is what it's called. And it was Chad wrote a screenplay about the making of The Other Side of the Wind. And I just had so much fun writing that. And I guarantee you'll go back and watch it and you'll go, yeah, well, that's fine. Sure. But yeah, no, that one was my favorite. Mine's always the boring ones. But anytime we get to talk about pinball, I get excited. So yeah.
How much of that stuff do you like keep in your head after you've done it? Because like you're pouring out like dates and measurements, and it's wild.
That's one of the reasons why I'm always like, if you want to ask me questions about specific events, let me know ahead of time so I can find my notes.
Shoot
please.
Me a heads up.
Because after a while, you're just kind of like, I don't know. Go back and watch the video. I said it then. I meant it. Whatever I said, I stand by. But it does. Some of it sticks. There's some like wild stuff, like the fact that like the Times New Roman thing. I'll never forget that Return of the Jedi is just an elongated Times New Roman, and that like speaking of Leroy Jenkins, it's still fresh in the mind. There was an onslaught of couch riders that were super mad that I didn't mention EverQuest or Ultima Online when talking about the history of MMORPGs. And I was like, well, I only have 10 minutes and I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about Leroy Jenkins. I'm trying to get you there. Also, how long do you want me to go? But they kept saying that Neverwinter Nights was not the first graphical MMORPG. And I was so mad because I was like, I had to learn this. You don't have to learn. I did this for you, but yet you keep hammering at me that that's not true. And I'm like, you're doing this on a device that is connected to the internet. It is possible that maybe you can Google this on your own damn self.
Yeah, the answers are right here.
It's
just
right
on the
here,
other
man.
side.
And here's what you're going to find. Exactly what I found, which is the reason why I told you that. No, but it's the Neverwinter Nights in 1991 for AOL, not the 2002 one. It's the one from Beyond Software. So it's stuff like that I'll never forget. Right. Because I had to go, yes, it's because of this. So yeah, no, it's thanks to this stuff, I'll never forget that the first registered graphical MMORPG was Neverwinter Nights for AOL from Beyond Software in 1991. Like, that's just jammed in there.
It's forever. Never leaving. You'll forget your ATM pin, but you will not
every single time.
Forget that.
Yeah. No, that's the stuff that sticks, is the stuff I have to reiterate over and over again.
So one last question about sort of your TikTok and Instagram world. You've been doing this online for a while, but it's fairly recent, right?
Yeah.
That you've started to really just pick up and take off. How's that make you feel? Like, you worried about that? Is it, obviously that's what you want to do if you're putting that stuff up, but.
Well, okay. So the story is this, like, originally we were doing Chad. So I've been doing Chad since 2006. At live shows, just kind of all over. And he just kind of was always around. He was always a side hustle, and always just kind of a fun thing I would do. And every now and then I get to do for like an event or like a big stand-up show or a host or something like that. And then 2020 happened. Mm-hmm. All the live shows shut down.
Right.
And the show that you normally see from the Green Mill is called the Paper Machete, which is where we got our start doing the deep dives. Mm-hmm. And I figured, well, that has a usual take about 200 people a week, 150 maybe, that are regulars that go there to drink and watch our show. And I kept thinking, it's 2020. These people are all freaked out. And what can we do to help out? And I was like, well, I could do Chad stuff online. So I started doing Facebook updates because they're all on Facebook because they're, right. And then that picked up a little steam. And then I joined TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. And that's the first time really I put Chad online in any situation. And then, then that happened. Then it happened. And now here we are 5 years later, and it's literally all I do. So it's a lot to think about, but it's not really, I don't feel any which way. It's more just like, well, I really just hope I don't suck every time we do a show. So I'm just like really more focused on like, I hope this doesn't suck. So
is it bringing more people into the live shows?
Yeah. We have people come from out of town, just check us out all the time, from all over. We have another show at Lincoln Lodge in Chicago called Class that we do that Chad hosts. And now we have people coming in from out of town just to see that. So, and then like, we'll do cons. I'll just go to a con and walk around and take pictures, and people will give me recognizes, and they'll, want to get pictures with Chad and that kind of stuff, which is great. I'm happy he's the popular one. So no complaints there.
Well, and this fascinates me. I just want to ask very quick before Pete takes us to a commercial, because I'm such a sucker for inside and how it works and all that. Like, is your process a lot like stand up? Like, are you writing and thinking about things as a stand up comedian? Are you, seeing things and banking up, bits and pieces, or are you more off the cuff? Like, I'm a little bit fascinated by your process.
Well, the process goes like this. So for the reports for any of the deep dives, the routine was always, when we first started doing this, I would get a topic from the guy who runs the Paper Machete, that's Chris Pyatt, and he would send me a story. And we used to do it that we would do it the first Monday, and then I would write all week, and then we have it up on Saturday. But then we realized that news changes and vibe changes, and and you living in 2025, it's right. Every day is a year that you're just like, well, the news is never what it is.
Too late. We've moved on.
We've moved on. We're now on this now. So I developed this method where Friday I get whatever, article he wants me to read or to talk on or write an op-ed on. And then I'll write the day of. So everything you see me do is written that day. So that morning,
that's cool.
I'll wake up and I'll just write, try to give you my take and learn at the same time. And then I'll do it. And that's just become the thing. And it's just like, I write whatever you see me do is a report or an essay that I wrote that day. And since it's a puppet, I can just hang out and read what I wrote.
Yeah.
But it's written that afternoon or maybe an hour beforehand is sometimes. And then I can go off the cuff from there because, as you said, there's a lot of information. Because we try, and that's just me. I'm a guy like that. Like I want to know everything, and I want to be accurate. So we're information aggregating. So I think of it more like journalism. And if it's stand up, it's more like on the because my heroes were Shel Silverstein and Lenny Bruce and Bill Hicks and Carlin and Williams. Yeah. So I'm more on, I always thought of Chad more as a spoken word thing. I used to do that a lot in Boston when I was in college. There was a place called the Cantab, and that's like a straight up old school Kerouac kind of place. And I was really bad at it, but the things I learned, I think kind of moved into this. So I feel like it's less, but did you learn how to make sourdough bread, Jasmine? It's true. Did you? I never actually learned how to make sourdough bread. I did learn how to make tortillas. But then to me, it's always been a little bit of journalism, a little bit of spoken word. Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's so hard to find your niche, right? Everybody's up there doing one thing or another. And this is different. This is cool. This is fun.
Well, it's what Steve Martin said. I know, because I took a masterclass during COVID. That's what I did. I signed up for masterclass. I went back to school. No, Steve Martin's masterclass is a thing he talks about where he's like, the thing that people will not understand you for will be, it's something like the things that people don't, things that make people question what you're doing are the things you should be doing. And so I kind of always stuck with that. Like, well, if people are confused by it, it must mean I'm doing something different. So
it's working. Yeah, I love that.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, we're going to take a break. We're going to do our Around the Galaxy news show, and I'm hoping that Chad is willing to come in and do that for us.
Well, I'll wake him up. He's around here somewhere.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, well, not more Josh. We're going to get Chad, and we're going to be talking more Star Wars news from the week.
Well, it's time to go around the galaxy again. Welcome to the segment where our producer, Kelsey, clearly the most powerful being in the galaxy, selects this week's most overhyped Star Wars news from our website and forces a panel of organic life forms to argue about it. Loudly. For points. That she gives out. However she wants. This makes no sense to me at all. This week's special guest will also join the chaos, pretending that their opinions matter, while Kelsey quietly calculates who lives, who dies, and who gets muted. And at the end, the so-called winner gets 60 seconds of uninterrupted airtime, because that's what this show needs. More talking. So, hold on to your motivator and brace for impact. This is Around the Galaxy. Do I have to say it? Do I really? Roger, Roger.
Well, here we are, and we have Chad. Chad, how are you doing?
Are you receiving me? I'm doing that thing we do when we Zoom, and I get right up in its business and I yell and stuff.
Well, this is going to be a lot. All right.
What in the can't wait. Is this lighting? Hey, guys.
Hey.
Chad.
How we doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
I feel like I look like I just woke up, but I swear I have been working.
It seems like you got a little bit.
On what is the question? It's an NDA. I'm not at liberty to say.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, the real question I have for you, Chad, is the pin on your jacket a Malort bottle? Because
hang on. Yeah.
There we go.
Do you see that?
It's very on brand.
This is one of my proudest achievements. This was given to me by the CEO. Like, this guy gave it to me. He was like, that's
incredible.
This is your badge. I also have a High C Ecto Cooler pin. I don't know if you can see it.
Hey, it's one half dozen of another, right?
Yup. Yeah, that's it.
What?
Yeah,
you know what?
That's all I got. Yeah.
I'm sorry. We're going to have to start Chad at -5 just to start for the Malort pin, because, Chicago people have made me try that, and, like, it is foul.
Yeah. Look, see? Some people just don't know. Yep. I'll take that -5. I'll take it on the chin. All right. Well, happy to do it.
All right. Well, I'm going to start the first question with you then. So maybe you can dig yourself out of this hole. I'm not sure. We'll see. All right. So Star Wars A New Hope comes back to theaters in 2027 for its 50th anniversary. Why are these re-release events significant?
They're significant because it's one step closer to us actually hosting a Civil War and demanding the release of the original cut of the original trilogy. He keeps prodding us like this. George, if you're watching, we're watching you. That's all I'm saying. Because one of these days, you're going to feel the pressure. And it's going to be that glorious day when it's freed from its bonds and, like, loose in the world, and we can finally watch it for real. Instead of on the damn special edition, special selection, whatever the heck, on the DVD that we bought back in 2001 or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I can do. Brag.
Fair enough. Pete, what do you think?
I love these returns. I think this whole concept and interesting thing that's happening in movie theaters right now is re-releases are just, we're going to see Jaws. I think at the end of August is coming back out. Because people aren't going to see, new movies because they're not that great. So it's great to see Star Wars, and I cannot wait to go back into the theater and witness that movie with friends and with an audience and laugh along with everybody. I always say when I went to the special edition re-release and brought my dad, one of the things that I remember is the line when C-3PO says, "Curse my battle body, they're dying," when everybody laughed. I forgot that was funny. I forgot that there's humor in Star Wars. And when everybody's, you sort of snicker at it on the couch when you're watching it. But when you see it again in the crowd, it changes the way you look at it. So I'm all for, I can't wait for it to come back, frankly.
Did you say that new movies are bad? Are you saying Hollywood is creatively bankrupt or something?
I have notes on that.
Go ahead, Chad.
I just saw Weapons, and that movie rips. I think we're living in a horror movie renaissance right now. So part of me is just like, hey, look, I get it. We don't really want to watch rom-coms or like dramedies right now. We want some hardcore misery and insanity. And Hollywood is delivering that on the table, man. So I agree that a lot of the movies that are supposed to be fun are kind of dumb, but the ones that are supposed to be terrifying are like lit. They're lit. Go see Weapons. It's so good. Believe the hype. Believe the hype.
All right. Nick, do you have any thoughts on Star Wars?
Surprisingly enough, as somebody who hosts a podcast or live stream every Thursday about Star Wars, I do. So here's the thing. Star Wars came out in 1977. I came out in 1978. I missed that first round by a year. It wasn't my opportunity. I grew up, I saw Return of the Jedi at a drive-in movie theater in Central Illinois where I grew up. It was something that, that's an experience I've always wanted to have, to see those original trilogy movies. I agree with Pete. The opportunity, nostalgia is driving a lot of theater stuff right now. Like you said, we've got Jaws coming out. I saw they released the other day that Batman and Batman Returns are going to hit the theater coming up sometime soon.
That's cool.
The Keaton Batmans, like that's stuff that would drive me out when we get re-releases, anniversaries of indie, stuff like that. That's what is driving me more to go to movies than some of the newer stuff. The other problem is I do have the original edits of the 3 Star Wars movies, but they're on
Keep it alive.
They're on this thumb drive, and every time I go to my local movie theater and ask them, can I play it? They throw me out and tell me I'm an idiot. So I need them to, they don't understand cinema clearly. So I'm ready for a legit opportunity to sit and watch that movie in a theater, take my kids, the ones that, will still make. You
didn't see the special editions in the theater?
Oh, I did, but it's not the same thing. This is the special editions. It's not. I mean, obviously, we're not going to get the original edits, but
we're going to get McClunky.
Yeah, we're going to get McClunky. We're going to get. We're gonna get that damn Jabba the Hutt digital bullcrap. That's the worst part of anything that happened in the special editions. But that's a side journey. I'm not trying to take
it on. Of the worst parts that happened in it. We got rid of Yub Nub. We got rid of the original Slice Noodle song. I could go on, and I will.
Patient Zero is digital Jabba in Star Wars: A New Hope.
Here's the thing: if you go back and watch like Empire Strikes Back, that's like the least messed with. It's not as bad as you think it is, but it's still annoying. Eric Elliott asked, does Chad the Bird eat mice? No, I am a vegetarian, but I do like fish. So if you haven't, I guess that makes me a pescatarian, but I don't believe in labels.
They're the vegetables of the sea.
They're the carrots of the ocean.
Meat without feet.
Yeah, no feet meat.
There you go.
All right. I'm going to stick with you, Chad, for our next question. So Matt Smith joins the cast as a villain in the upcoming Starfighter movie. What is your excitement level for this edition?
Hyped. I'm at a 10 because the one thing I always wanted to be in the Star Wars universe, because I feel like I could make a pretty good something in there just based on my general vibe and look. I'm some sort of anthropomorphic something, so I feel like I should be in there doing bleep blorps and such. But I've always wanted to be an X-Wing pilot. So anytime that they're like, hey, we're making X-Wing stuff, I'm all in. So I hope it's got that vibe. And not in the like Rogue One, it's pretty sad, but like, no, it's just about us kicking ass in the sky. Then I'm in.
All right.
So yes. And putting a Doctor Who, he's got nerd cred all over the place. He's been around he's done his Marvel stuff. He's done his DC stuff. He's done his Doctor Who stuff. I feel like that he's done the trifecta. He hasn't done Star Wars yet. It was only a matter of time and whether or not Pedro Pascal was available. So it's nice that Matt Smith is involved.
Yeah, but you just mentioned the Marvel thing. Wasn't he in like Morpheus? Dear God.
I mean, that's the Sony Marvel. I'm not saying it was a good thing. I'm saying he's got creds.
All right,
it was Morbin time that back in those days. We were all Morbius in those days. Oh, Morbius. I spent money on that movie.
Well, that's your problem.
That's true. That's true. I'm just like, for me, it's all pizza. I'm like, sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but it's still pizza.
All right. Pizza. Fair enough. Nick, what do you think?
So I'm kind of neutral on this one. Matt Smith is fine. House of the Dragons is fine. I'm not a Doctor Who guy, so it's not necessarily as much of my, wheelhouse, things like that. I have a problem sometimes where in my mind, I confuse Matt Smith with Christopher Eccleston. And so I feel like there's an overlap. And so in my
having never seen a Doctor Who. Interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Having not seen a Doctor Who.
Old guy brain thing or like just
it could be. I mean, okay. I drink a lot of whiskey, so I make no excuses.
High five.
That's right. But the positive I take out of this is it's new Star Wars. It's moving forward. There's villains, there's characters. And as our friend Chris, who is not here tonight, likes to say quite regularly, gimme. So, yeah, Matt Smith, let's go. Show me what he's got.
All right. What do you think, Pete?
I'm excited because do you remember there was a rumor that he was going to play the Emperor in Rise of Skywalker? And
yes,
he would have been a great, as long as he's not playing the Emperor. I'll be totally fine with
it. Hold on. That freaks me out for a few reasons because young Emperor Palpatine, then you're thinking Palpatine fucks, and I don't like it.
Yeah,
he really does. But he only fucks machines.
Sly Moore can confirm.
Yeah. Do you ever hear of Darth Porkus the Wise? Not now, sir. Gross. Sit in the trailer.
We're at the opera.
Maybe tell me later.
Wait for intermission, guys. Come on.
Yeah, man. God. You have to sit next to him during a show and he's just like, no, you never told me about anything. And you're not going to right now. I've never seen this water opera. Cirque du Soleil bubble show. God, I haven't seen this one.
Sorry, Pete, go ahead.
Yes, Pete, you were saying?
Yeah.
Long and short of it, glad he's going to be a villain. Can't wait to see it. Let's go.
That's all you got for me.
That's all I got.
It does seem like villain is kind of his ouvre. Like that's where he eats. That's his deal. So
happy for him. Him and David Tennant, like both of you, go get it.
Go get it.
Go get it.
All right, Pete, I'm going to stick with you since just derailed you there. I'm so sorry.
In the shadows and flames, primals will fall, and from the blood and ash, new gods will rise. Poppy was never meant to awaken, and consequences are devastating, stirring ancient powers from their slumber, transforming Castile and Kirin in ways the fates couldn't foresee. The great conspirator has returned to stop the primal of death. The gods have awakened, harboring blood-soaked secrets, and every choice can undo everything. The Primal of Blood and Bone, perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros. Available September 23rd. Pre-order today.
Tamora Morrison has been begging fans to bring back Boba Fett to Star Wars. After his show was met with mixed reactions, do you think it's time for him to come back or no?
I am going to get a lot of heat for this.
Nice. Be brave.
Big
boy pants. Let's go.
Tamora Morrison has been like elevated to this, trying to be like Hayden Christensen level. He's not. He's a fine original Jango Fett. He was okay as Boba Fett, and I know the whole clone thing, and I'd like to see him come back as Rex and some of those other things, but it's kind of sad that he's at a convention saying things like, send a fax to Lucasfilm and get us in. That's literally what he said.
Tell them to give me a job.
Well, I think everything you need to know is he said, send a fax.
Send a fax.
Lucasfilm.
Was that a real quote?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah. So I'm a little, I don't know. I love Boba Fett as a character. I love Jango, all that stuff. But I just feel like Tamora, I just feel like there's a reason why he's not getting called, and I don't know what it is. So,
Chad, what do you think?
I'll tell you what it is, Pete. It's that show sucked. And we watched it because some of it didn't suck, which is like how it's been with Star Wars shows. Some of it's fine, some of it kind of sucks. But again, I'm all in. Like I said, it's like pizza. Even if you get like gas station pizza, yeah, it sucks, but it's still pizza. And I'm fine with that. I think he's just trying to play into some kind of hype where I'm like, bro, nobody hates you. Everybody loves you. You're going to get there. Don't worry. It's just like he's hanging out in line being like, man, it'd be really cool if I got to the front. You know, I was Boba. He said, we know you were Boba Fett. You wait your turn. You'll be in. It's Matt Smith has to shine. But yeah, no. I mean, I don't agree. I think that we don't need more. I think we had our moment. And if you're going to do it, it needs to be like it was in Mando 2. He needs to pop in, kick ass, be weird and creepy, and then disappear. I don't need any more. I'm fine.
I think that, and the most underrated thing about when he came in Mandalorian was the music, which they didn't carry over. If you listen to the music when he's
so good,
kicking ass, they didn't carry that over as his theme into the next show, and that's I think that's part of the problem. So
problem is, it was Robert Rodriguez. We wanted Dusk Till Dawn. We got Spy Kids, and I'm like, okay, well, that's not the flavor of Rodriguez we were asking for, but okay. I mean, you went for it.
Fair enough. Nick, do you have any thoughts?
I do. And I'm going to say something that I can guarantee everyone on earth that I have not said at any other point today. I agree with the bird on this one. Here's the deal. No, thank you. Like, great job. You did your time. The Book of Boba Fett, it was fine. The best part of it was the middle part where the Mandalorian showed up and Ahsoka showed up and Luke showed up. Like, that was the best part of the Book of Boba Fett. I don't hate it. I'm not going to shit on it. It's just not my brand. It's not my brand. It's not my thing. But the allure of Boba Fett as a kid who grew up in the 80s with Star Wars was he was mysterious. And it wasn't that they made him woke. It wasn't that they made him have empathy for the Tusken Raiders and that kind of thing. Like, that's great. It's a good story.
All in.
What it was Boba Fett was the baddest bounty hunter in the galaxy, and now we're having like a process story where he's like becoming a city administrator and running for mayor, and it wasn't what I was looking for. So I don't need more of that. And Disney and Lucasfilm and Star Wars are moving forward. They're doing new exciting things, which I can't wait to see. But it feels a little bit, I'm going to borrow an expression that I'm easily 25 years too old for. It feels a little try hard when you're at a con where clearly, as Pete said, he's phoning in from 1994 saying, hey, fax Disney and tell them give me a job. Like, if you can't get it on your own, it may not be your thing.
Though. He's not like doesn't have a job. He's
That's right. He's doing stuff
right now. He's doing great. Everybody knows who you are.
He's in the Momo thing on Apple TV. Like, he's
got. If you're watching, buddy, we love you. You're doing great. Yeah. You're doing great.
Come on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's work it out.
I was just about to say, I guess I'm going to have to cancel his appearance for next week. Real awkward.
Now I'm hoping he's at Dragon Con at the end of the month and he can just punch me directly in the face.
I'll tell you.
Show him this clip, right?
Nick, I'm not sure if you could notice, I do have a shiner right now. So, if you need me to like come defend you, like
come back me up. We'll be good.
Great at taking punches.
There we go.
All right. Gonna stick with you, Nick. So, in a recent interview, Liam Neeson criticized how easily his Jedi fell in battle against Darth Maul, despite being billed as a master Jedi. Do you agree with him, or do you feel like he's not giving Maul proper respect?
All right, so here's my real problem with what Liam Neeson said, and I hope that it was an error, like on the journalist or the original person who translated this all. It was quoted that he said it was Namby Pamby with an N. The expression is Mamby Pamby with an M. I couldn't get past anything else because it was said wrong.
Well, I was questioning myself after all these years. I'm like, have I been saying? Not that I've been saying Mamby Pamby
is the way that I've always understood this expression to be. I don't know. I mean, we love Liam Neeson. He's the Taken guy. He's the gruff guy, voice guy. I keep seeing that the new Naked Gun is great, and I don't know if I believe that because the new Coming to America was not great, and I don't think Happy Gilmore 2 was great. And like, we don't need to do some of these things. We just need to put the original ones back in the theater, as we discussed earlier. Do I agree if he's giving Maul Maul beat him? And that's the way it goes. Like, Maul was younger, Maul was faster, Maul was trained in the dark side. That's the way it goes. Because the story ultimately was not about Qui-Gon Jinn. The story was about Obi-Wan Kenobi, where he goes from there. And it creates something that is one of my favorite things in Star Wars, which is Maul's single focus obsession with Kenobi because of what happened in The Phantom Menace, which pays off so beautifully in Rebels on down the line.
I do have to tell you why I took away some points there. Are you aware of, hold on, Liam Neeson's interview where he was asked if women should get paid the same amount as him? And
he's a terrible human being.
Yeah, well, no, it was my favorite thing ever because the interviewer is like, well, would you take a pay cut? And he goes, no. Just laid it on thick. And I was like, man. So
you're like, you didn't have to say it that many times.
Yeah. He's like, oh, dear God, women being paid the same as me? So dumb.
Turns out he doth protest too much.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Easy, Rob Roy. You're doing fine.
All right. Thoughts on Maul versus Qui-Gon, Chad?
First of all, just to throw it in there, I would never actually, but I am fighting for points. It is an Ambrose Bierce. It's an Ambrose Bierce word, and it is namby-pamby. It goes back to the day, and that's an Ambrose Bierce thing. But I don't care because Liam Neeson needs to sit down. Again, no one's talking to you, Liam. You're dating Pam Anderson now. You're doing fine. Go live your life. It's just like, I can't believe you went down so easily. You sat down. He accepted his death. He did what Obi-Wan does in the first Star Wars. He's like, you know what? If you strike me down, I'll become more powerful than you can imagine. So he just lets Maul do his thing. And then what's Maul get? Maul gets just like divided by Obi-Wan. And I feel like Qui-Gon knew what he was doing. I never took it as he went out too easy. I was like, yeah, man, he's the guy. He knows what's up. So, no, I disagree. Fine.
All right. And then I left it for our biggest Maul fan on the podcast last. Pete. What do you think?
I never thought of this until he said something about it. Until it hit the internet, I never thought that he went out like a bitch. I think he was in a fight and Maul outplayed him and he lost. And I didn't think anything of it. And your point about him dating Pam Anderson, it's. For those of us in this sort of Generation X, like Pam Anderson today, it's like dating that teacher that you thought was hot when you were like 14 years old.
Easy, Pete. Easy, Pete.
Yeah, you're probably right. I should shut that one down, right?
It's like wine, she did. Sitting there in your teenage bedroom with your 5-year-old jokes.
Yeah, no, you do sound like all the like shrivelly old men being like, oh, she's not wearing makeup anymore.
I actually think she looks great, but I'm just saying nothing. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying a word. I'm done. As Liam Neeson would say, no.
Liam Neeson did this to us. I blame Liam for this conversation.
We were doing just fine, and now we're canceled.
Just fine until he showed up in the meeting that he was not invited to complain about a thing that isn't happening.
All right. Well, yeah, I mean, that's a great way to end this. And Chad, you did win, so you have the floor.
Here's the thing that I want from more Star Wars movies for those of you who are watching that are involved in making more Star Wars movies. Stop making your aliens have English accents and speak English and that kind of jazz. They speak bleeps and blurps. That's all they're allowed to speak. So many people work so hard to create and then retcon these languages. And then you just throw it all away when you meet like some like half elephant, half fighter pilot guy. And I'm like, oh, here comes those bleep blorps. And then I'm going to get that little translation at the bottom of the screen. But instead he's just like, I can't see where we're going. And I'm like, what the hell is that shit? That's not Star Wars. That's like Stargate. That's like, what was that show with Farscape? That's Farscape shit, man. And I love Farscape. But it don't mix. They don't mix with Star Wars. If you're an alien, if you're a robot, you bleeps, you blorps. That's it. And I'm tired of no one talking about it. I'm tired of no one saying it. Because it drives me crazy in every single Star Wars movie and TV show when the little alien thing has like a fucking Australian accent. And I'm like, oh, knock it off. Like there was like, and case in point being, when they redid The Phantom Menace with that cut, where the guy like made it good and like Jar Jar just spoke in bleep blorps. So I was like, see, that's all you have to do. All it is. It could look like crap, and I'd buy it. If he's out there being like, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, that's Star Wars. That's what I'm here for. So that's what I had to get it off my chest. I was
Nailed it.
Other than that, they're killing it. I'm having a great time.
Dismount. Let's go.
Well, and I've never been more glad to be wrong about something in my life than to have Chad the Bird point out to me that it is in fact namby-pamby, because
so far that I've seen and I have known. Other than that, I could be like,
I did a quick fact check. I did a quick fact check, and you're 100% correct. There's a poem by Henry Carey that was a satire of Ambrose Phillips. I think it is.
That's what it was.
Yeah, and so completely nailed it. The knowledge, the dive. This is why you bring Chad the Bird on, folks. Like, this is what you get when you.
Chad, at this Saturday show in Chicago, I want you to use the word namby-pamby.
Namby-pamby. I will, for you. That's going to happen. I can promise. I can tell you what I'm talking about this weekend. I never get to do this, so I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about this weekend. On August 8th, 2004, the Dave Matthews Band bus dumped a load of shit on a boat in the river. I've been waiting. I've been asking the editor of that show for 10 years to allow me to talk about that. And this is the year he said yes. This is the 21st anniversary this Saturday. And I will be talking about the Dave Matthews shit bus. And for you, Pete,
yes,
I will find a way to work namby-pamby in.
Nice.
Now we're talking.
Well, hey, so people can watch that clip. Where can people follow Chad the Bird on the interwebs?
You can find me. Just Google Chad the Bird. It's really easy. I'm only the only one. And I'm not the pastor Chad Bird. Right.
He was coming up all over my feed.
Just FYI, I've had people reach out and ask me to pray for their families, and I'm like, well, I will, but I don't know if that's going to do any good. I don't have any credentials on that front. Also, a quick Google search, you'll know you're wrong. But yeah, if it looks like me and his name is Chad the Bird, then you'll find it. But yeah, YouTube, Chad the Bird. That's where we do the full-size bars. That's where I do my pinball streams, which the next one, by the way, is going to be August 21st. It's a pinball fight club, so it's a tournament. It's going to be fun. And then if you go to Instagram, it's Chad Bird with a U because of Chad Bird. Which someday I'll be able to claim my name. And then TikTok is Chad the Bird Talk, TOK. Other than that, you find me. It's easy.
It's easy. That's great. Well, Chad, thank you so much for hanging out. You are welcome on this show at any time. Anytime you want to. When you're not able to geek out enough in Chicago, call us.
I need to.
Yes, we need you here.
We got you.
Yes. Thank you so much for hanging out. Nick, what do we have next week? Do we know at this point what we have next week? No, we don't.
I literally just canceled tomorrow, so just letting you know.
Yeah, I ruined Tamara Morrison, so I'm gonna spend the weekend doing penance and trying to come up with a new plan. So the thing you can count on is we will be back next Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. That's it. And then I live in Central Time, so 8 o'clock. Come hang out with us. Tell your friends. We drink, we laugh, we have fun. We talk about Star Wars, and we will be here next week. We don't know with who, but it'll be fun, guaranteed.
All right. Well, thanks again to Chad. Thank you, Kelsey. Thank you, everybody who's listening and watching. We will see you next time. And Nick, may the force be with you.
Always.
Just one more round, friend, then homeward bound, friend. Don't forget me in your dreams. Just one more song, friend, and then so long, friend. The nights get shorter, it seems. Just one more rhyme, friend. Yes, it's a crime, friend. But you know time, friend. Time can fly. So it's good night, friend. Good night, but not goodbye.
In the shadows and flames, primals will fall, and from the blood and ash, new gods will rise. Poppy was never meant to awaken, and consequences are devastating, stirring ancient powers from their slumber, transforming Castile and Kirin in ways the fates couldn't foresee. The great conspirator has returned to stop the primal of death. The gods have awakened, harboring blood-soaked secrets, and every choice can undo everything. The Primal of Blood and Bone, perfect for fans of Sarah J. Maas and Rebecca Yarros. Available September 23rd. Pre-order today.